pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I want to start tonight's meeting, if you give me a moment, for gratitude. I want to give some words of gratitude, first of all, to our resident and sister Tammy Snow for the wonderful job that she does year after year with making sure that we have a Founders Day, and all the people that work with her to put it together. And I want to thank her for the continuity of that and the hard work that she puts in that, and she takes it on herself.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I also want to thank the people that work with Desiree. Desiree worked so hard. That firehouse tricky tray, they must have hit everybody in Monroe County and beyond.
The cemetery, not firehouse.
Cemetery, I'm sorry.
Yes.
God.
It's okay. I'll forgive you
For the
this time.
cemetery. Although I didn't win anything, it was the most wonderful array of tricky tray selections that I have seen in quite some time, and we want to thank you and your team for all that work, Desiree. Another word of gratitude. I want to thank Tim Snow for all the pitching in and filling in for the lapses that we have when we need things around the borough, and it's not things that we ask him for, it's things that he drives around and he sees and he decides that I'm going to do this to support our borough, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm not stopping there. I want to thank our borough manager who goes on vacation and comes back here and has a meeting on the 1st of July and has all of this material ready for us and prepared and all the numbers there. She is excellent and she does her job. I want to thank her. And lastly, I want to thank all the present and former borough council members who take my frantic calls when I'm trying to figure this crap out and are so kind in helping me find my way and keeping us going. So thank you all the people who have served and still serve. So I just felt like I needed to say those words of gratitude because everybody does so much to keep Delaware Water Gap going. The council members are here, they're volunteer, but there are people that are constantly thinking of what we need and doing it without being asked, and I appreciate that. So thank you so very much. So now I will open up the floor for public comment for items that are on the agenda. Yes, sir.
Not to sway whoever you may have picked to be the replacement council person, but I'd like to suggest Nefertiti Campbell or Ray Gould.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Yes, sir. Tim.
Well, in that same line, you could consider resident or the sergeant.
Thank you very much. Desiree had your hand for public comment.
Along those same lines, LV Delato or Eileen Noel.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
And along with that, James Holbrook or John Stuck.
Thank you for your input. Any other comments related to items that are on the agenda at this time? No one? All right, going once, going twice. At this point, we will look for a motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay the bills.
I can make that motion.
Thank you. Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been made and second. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report and paying the bills?
Aye.
Motion passed. Motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from June 3rd, 2024.
I'll make that motion to accept those minutes.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Superintendent's report.
Today I was able to take care of a tree that fell out on the Fine property between the Fine and Amatazer. It was directly over the exposed water line that runs in the creek. The water system operator asked me to take care of it promptly, and we got some major repair. As the pipe itself is actually in the water exposed. This is the line that we're talking about replacing on Cherry Valley Road extension. It was also asked by the water operator to take care of the overgrown conditions at Wellhouse 4 and 6. Has been addressed. Thank you to Tim Smith for work at Charlotte Park. Did an amazing job over there. And there's scheduled tree work on Cherry Valley Road on the 8th of July. Basically in front of my house, my next door neighbors making arrangements to have 4 native trees taken down, which will probably result in some traffic disruption.
On the 4th of July? On the, which day?
8th of July.
8th of July, okay.
I don't see road closure, but I can see disruption of traffic while they bring lumber down. Other than that, that's all I have at this point.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you too, Superintendent. Mayor's report.
So on the 27th, we had another 611 closure meeting. It's every 2 weeks now. It used to be monthly, now it's every 2 weeks. There didn't seem to be a whole lot until toward the end of the meeting when an idea popped up about what we might be able to do to at least open up a single lane temporarily. At the meeting prior, the Park Service presented a case where they believe that there's rocks that fall in the road all the time, and PennDOT just goes through and within a couple hours moves the rocks and has the road open again. The last meeting that we had on the 27th was PennDOT's rebuttal to that. So there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of throwing each other under the bus on this deal. What we noticed in PennDOT's presentation was a video. They were showing how they actually scale the side of the mountain, how it works. And we had noticed that they put up it's like a temporary barrier fence, like really heavy duty chain link fence type thing to catch the rocks before they go down as they pry them off the mountain before they go on the road. So it was suggested toward the end of the meeting, well, why can't we put a barrier down the center of 611, and on top of that, put some of that fencing, and then we can open up a single lane and you guys can do the work on the other side of the fence. And that seemed to be agreeable, at least temporarily, to Park Service and to PennDOT. We can do that without having to ask the tribes and any of that other stuff because it's actually in PennDOT's right of way. So at the next meeting, which is 2 weeks from now, PennDOT plans on bringing in a proposal on how they're going to do it, what they need. In the meantime, we'll talk to the Park Service to make sure they don't have any issues with it. And if it works, we may just have a single lane opening coming up pretty soon. Now, I don't want to get people excited because we go to these meetings and, oh, we did this sounds great, and then we come back to the next meeting and things change. So I'm just conveying that that's what happened at the last meeting, and hopefully this will be an answer to at least getting a single lane open.
I just have a question. It's just something I'm not understanding. So what do the tribes have to do with any of this construction? And I'm part native, so I have nothing against any tribe, but
It's really weird. So there's 7 different tribes that they have to seek approval with, the Park Service stuff. They don't hold any jurisdiction at all in this area.
Right.
The Park Service has said that they will not agree to anything without all 7 tribes agreeing to the work that's being done. Because the tribes consider all this property back here sacred. I don't know why, but that's what they consider. We've asked them several times, what is your issue with not approving this? And they have not come back and given us anything more. 5 out of the 7 tribes said, we don't have a problem with it, go ahead, do what you want to do. 2 of them said, we have a problem with it, but they didn't tell us what the problem is. So, I don't understand it, but the Park Service will not move without approval from the tribes. It's just, what they did tell us is, if they don't get approval from the tribes, it could trigger a higher environmental study, higher level environmental study.
unless
which
it's
would
burial
take-
grounds, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it would take a lot of time. I will say this, I did walk this, I probably told people before, I did walk this with PennDOT, and they showed me the different, I think it's 23 different sites that they're looking to scale the side of the mountain. To me, it doesn't look like a lot of work. PennDOT has actually scaled back the entire project because of the issues with the tribe and Park Service. They are actually taking half of what they were originally going to take off the side of the mountain, with the hopes of taking the rest of it in phase two. So there's two different phases. There are a couple spots there that are pretty concerning. I didn't know until they point them out to you, show them to me. And they are just outside of PennDOT's right. And when I say just outside, I mean within feet. The Park Service will not allow them to touch it without their permitting process. So the best thing we can do is wait on that to happen, but until that happens, maybe this barrier down the center of 611 with the fence on top will open up a single lane travel back and forth to north and south. So that's the hope. So any other questions on that?
So when it goes to single lane, what about option? Hold on, single lane, right?
I'm sorry.
When they go to, what you're talking about going to single lane?
Yes.
I mean, that's not like a whole length, long length of single lane, right?
That's another question. There was a concern between myself and Mayor Fisher about whether we were gonna do the same thing that they do out in Copper Mine Road, where there's a light on
Yep.
either end and,
That's
originally-
a good distance.
Yes, and originally PennDOT said we can't do that. Between each light, there needs to be a line of sight so you can see if somebody's coming either way. I said, well, they don't have that over at Copper Mine. He said, well, that's New Jersey. So.
Well, and that's been there for 30 years, too.
Yeah, so I keep telling them, listen, a single direction's not gonna work. And it's not clear which direction that may be. It seems like that direction would be this one, but they haven't said for sure that's what it would be. So Mayor Fisher and I are pushing hard for them to figure it out and make sure we go both directions and put them out. So we'll see what happens. Yes?
Are they gonna have any vehicle restrictions if they do go to single lane?
It should be the same vehicle restrictions that we already have. The trucks are not allowed through there. The problem is policing that. If we have an officer on, they can certainly pull them over and issue citations for that. We're also talking to the state police to make more frequent visits if that lane opens up, and even the Park Service. So, unless there's somebody there all the time, I'm sure one or two are gonna sneak through, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. Anything else?
If nothing else, we can go on. The police report was provided, but he's not here to report it. The fire department report, nothing to report. Emergency management, nothing to report.
Just the one thing. if I could.
What do you have, sir?
I'm working on the risk assessment that the county requires from us every year. So I'm working on that and probably get with Allison to finish it up, but that's the only thing we got.
Thank you so much. Engineers report?
I only have one item, and that's about the RAISE grant that it was not awarded. But they are doing debriefings in August,
So they can give us some information,
Yeah.
feedback on
Yep,
what we
yeah.
were lacking and
so
whatever.
that'll be good. And then I'll work on, the multimodal grant, which is due at the end of this month, and then I'll start the, county LSA grant, which opened today, so.
For, what were we applying for
That was for the Ford F-550.
Okay.
Yep.
For the, okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Did you see the resolution from me? Yes, I did.
Zoning officer did not provide a report. Solicitors report?
I don't believe that's not already agenda items.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we're on to new business. Motion to adopt the fireworks ordinance. It's been published and provided for the public.
It was published in the Book and Record. A copy was provided to the Book and Record as well as to the law library. And it was posted here.
So I need a motion to adopt the fireworks ordinance, which would ban consumer fireworks and put a great amount of restrictions on display fireworks. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It just said.
Wayne.
Do I need to add any more to that motion?
Wayne did,
Wayne.
Wayne?
Yes.
Okay, you guys are first, okay.
and Derek second.
Okay, thank you. I was just gonna make comment that the zoning officer has made a finding that there's not a appropriate place within 150 yards of an occupied structure where consumer fireworks would be
Safe.
appropriate, right?
Say yes.
That's effective
Let me review.
immediately?
Pardon?
That's effective immediately?
As soon as we take this vote.
Okay, because the fourth is Thursday.
It's effective 5 days after enactment.
5 days.
Come on, Dad. So process of the ordinance, I'm sorry.
I mean, we're gonna probably see this display somewhere by the runway. I mean, it's beautiful. The display is beautiful,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna be this spot.
Well, it'll be the last one, so enjoy it.
Thank you, Desiree.
You're welcome.
All in favor of the motion that's been made and second? Any opposed? Motion passes. We now have a fireworks ordinance. Thank you all very much. All right. Motion to fill council member Howard Ike's seat the remaining term until December 2025. And I'm accepting nominations. I will open the nominations with nominating Jeff Plotnick to fill the seat that Howard Ike vacated until December 2025. Do I have any other nominees from council? If not, can we vote on that? Does anyone make a motion?
I'll make the motion to nominate Jeff Plotnick to fill the remaining council seat.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Was there a
Jeff-
second?
Second, yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear, sorry.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Motion passed. Jeff, we welcome you. You will get with our borough manager, and she will guide you through the process of paperwork and swearing in and all of that. And thank you so much for standing up for the borough and helping us out with the continuity. Thank you so much. Okay, next on, discuss motion to approve applying for the Bare Root Tree Grant. That's Councilmember Foster, and this motion should be noted that the matching will be accommodated through volunteer work hours.
It's what's called an in-kind match. It's 1-to-1. They're estimating the cost of the trees to be $120 per tree. We're gonna apply for 10 trees, so that's $1,200. We have 20 volunteers at $20 an hour. We have, use of the borough backhoe for 5-6 hours. We have use of the borough, dump truck to go collect the trees. I'm pretty sure we're gonna need the 1-to-1 match. We'll make sure.
Excellent. So if I have a motion to apply for this grant with the in-kind matching. Motion,
I'll make that motion.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Discuss the motion or make a motion to authorize the borough solicitor to take the necessary steps to litigate collection matters, process related liens, engage in attachment proceedings and or foreclosure proceedings as needed. Derek, this is your motion.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. What did I miss? How did I always skip one?
That's all right.
And I got a mark by it. Okay, I'm so sorry. Motion or discussion, is a motion hopefully, to approve the repair of the roof. As you all know, the roof had a major leak a while back, and our borough manager has done a significant amount of work trying to find someone to repair a rubber roof. And thank God she did. There's an estimate from Family Restoration in the amount of $2,100. Do I hear
That's
a
a
motion
good
to
bid.
approve that repair? Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion passes for roof repair. Thank the Lord.
That's a
That's
great
a
price. That's a great price for that.
No one fixes rubber roofs. She
No,
went through a
and
lot of
not
work
for that price
to
either,
find
so
that,
thank you,
yes.
Allison. That was amazing. Thank you,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, it's a great price.
Okay, so now we need to appoint 2 board members, residents, to the Building Code Board of Appeals. And this is the joint,
The joint, council, Strasburg, East Strasburg already has one that's a joint one, and they allowed us to join in on it. So they have, they each previously appointed 2 members, and then we will appoint 2 members. And then we'll, it will be a 5-member board. One will be an alternate if all people show up at the same time, and that will be chosen by the board at that time.
now to explain to everyone, this board rarely has to convene. It's for, building code. And Allison, we have the, appointees.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't write them on here, but they're, Marty Bartholomew and James Holbrook.
So I need a motion to appoint Marty Bartholomew and James Holbrook to the Building Code, the Joint Building Code Board of Appeals. Can I get
I'll second that.
a second? All in favor of that? Any opposed to that? Motion
Let's
passes.
get a vote, Marty.
Thank you so much, Marty, you're on the hook, we appreciate you.
And I will just say, if you will not find a better voter than this guy right here.
That's true.
We appreciate all the participation that our residents make, thank you so much. Did I miss one? Appoint new members of the board.
And then it's the resolution to adopt.
Motion to, oh yes, for the resolution to adopt the joint, our participation in the joint building code
So can I
of
just
appeals.
say something on that real quick?
Please.
So the intergovernmental cooperation agreement was sent to council for review. The resolution just adopts that agreement, that you appoint the 2 members. You recognize, you confirm the appointments of the other boroughs who have already, their appointments, which, just for information's sake, East Stroudsburg Borough has appointed Troy Nauman and Penny, and the Borough of Stroudsburg had appointed Nate Euler and Ryan Hossinger. And for disclosure, I had previously been appointed as the solicitor for the Joint Building Code of Appeals. And there's a $1,000 application fee for people who apply for a hearing before the board. That's what the resolution says.
Thank you, so do,
Yep, it was Nate Euler and the other name? Ryan Hossinger. So Troy Nauman, Ed Henning, Nate Euler, and Ryan Hossinger. Okay, thank you.
so did we make the motion to accept the resolution?
Yep, and the resolution then.
Did we already do that motion?
No, we haven't had the motion.
Okay, so we need a motion for a resolution to become a part of the joint building code board of appeals.
I'll make the motion to join the joint building code board of appeals.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes.
And, my understanding from East Stroudsburg is that they will be voting on it tomorrow at their meeting. And I didn't get an update from Stroudsburg. I know that their solicitor has been on vacation, so I'm not.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have a motion to update the authorized business officer on the TCM credit card account. We had a change in council presidents. We did not update the point of contact for the credit card. In order to get me on, we need to have a motion passed, because that's how that bank works. So is there a motion to add me on to this as an authorized business officer for the TCM credit card?
Is that also?
Motion to add me on to the credit card. And remove the previous, authorized business officer. Wayne, you making that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
That was the important part.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you so much. See, this is why I call them up, and they answer me too when I call them. Amazingly.
Don't get used to it.
Sometimes you look at the phone, right? Now we're on to old business, Duto access. I've done a bit of research. I've done a lot of research. And I find that we have a 50-year plus agreement for the access. So we will have executive session where we discuss it further, but that's pretty much where we are with that right now.
Was it you who found this?
Yes, sir. I am an analyst. Thank you. Anything on that, council? Okay. Building code, oh, we already did the building code of appeals. That was old business, so we can take that off of old business now. 4 Shepherd Court, that's going before a zoning board of appeals,
Zoning hearing board.
zoning hearing board, so.
But, no.
No.
Four,
No?
Oh, I thought it
Four
was.
Shepherd
No,
Court
Four
is
Shepherd Court is-
Phillips, and that is set for hearing, we filed to assess damages from the judgment for, failure to, stop the building supplies.
Okay.
And that was set for hearing, it was set for hearing in October, I have no idea why it was filed, the order is dated May, with an October hearing date. I have zero control over that and have no idea why the judge's schedule such that it's pushed out that far.
I thought it was August.
I thought it was August too, that was what in my head, and,
Okay.
Marshall called today
Okay.
about it, and I pulled up the order and sent it to him, and it says October.
There's nothing we can do about that.
So Lisa, who does this go to? Oh, it's not the zoning.
No,
This
this
is-
is the,
that's
this
a
is for the
separate-
cleanup of the property. This is for the, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It was for the cleanup of the property
Right.
and the offenses of not cleaning it up. So it won't be heard until October.
It's the one with your,
Right, but who does it go to?
if we have a judgment from the MDJ, which was then transferred to the Court of Common Pleas,
Okay.
and the judgment from the MDJ imposed a daily fine. And
Right.
so then I filed a motion in the Court of Common Pleas to assess money damages for the daily fine for the fact that she hasn't cleaned it up.
Thank you.
Is there any update on the Gulf Station inlet? Has anybody found any money to fix it?
Still needs to be fixed.
You got any money?
No, I do not.
All right.
You
Next,
got the money, though.
next item on the agenda. Stormwater management.
Oh, I do want to comment that the Gulf Station inlet is getting worse. I was at it today, and it is now, the inlet grade is 3 to 4 inches below the flush collar level, and is failing more.
So just show me the sinkhole.
So pretty soon, there's going to be some open hole. in,
I was told that there was some legislation somewhere, and I will follow up on it and try and find it, whereas they were trying to find, municipalities that have a state road. Right now, PennDOT holds the municipalities responsible for the stormwater drainage on the state roads, and there's somewhere, there might be some legislation to remove the small municipalities from make them harmless, to have to repair those things. So I will follow up on that and see what I can find out about it, if we can get some relief from that, or if it's anywhere in sight.
In the meantime, Missy just indicated that we could probably go steel plate over it. We paid $200. We paid a lot of money for the steel plate that we put over the inlet off the church. Might be something that we could.
Can we look into the logistics of that?
Yeah.
Price, access, how we order it?
Yeah.
Cause that sounds very doable.
Can it be a fenestrated steel?
I was gonna say, getting drain water.
I'm sure they have ones that have notches of some sort of like drainage.
And also, not underneath the asphalt.
So let's let Rose, explore an alternate solution until we explore a more significant solution. This is the best I can do today, and, we'll figure it out. The stormwater management ordinance, has there been any news on that?
No, I have to move along, so.
Okay. Cherry Valley Waterline Project, any updates on that?
I have requested easements, appraisals from Tom McEwen, I have spoken to him about them. Sent an email confirming the reason for them. And once we get those, then we can proceed with the easements.
Of the,
For the easement.
the fee to get the
Yep,
easement in, okay.
because they're not, there's no response, and, Attorney Wolf was back in touch with the one, representing the one homeowner, and thought we were gonna get something there, and then she stopped communication with him too, so there.
Okay.
But we
Can I
moving
ask
forward
you
on
for a
it.
timeline on this?
I have asked for the appraisals, as soon as I get them, then we can file the debt taking, but we have to make a offer, show that what the just compensation would be, so I need the appraisals to do that, I have requested them. I'm at Tommy Fewens knows that we need to proceed,
Okay, so maybe by next meeting, we would have.
I would hope
have
so,
that-
yeah,
That bundle?
I would hope so.
Cause we actually came up with a value, I think it was like $1,000.
That was when we, previously, we asked for the appraisal, and Tom suggested to do, he gave a slight, like an estimate, like a rate evaluation, thinking that that may help with the conversation with the homeowners. We did have those, we did provide those to the homeowners, and that got us nowhere. And so now we need formal appraisals for the purpose of filing the declaration of taking.
Do we have any other individuals here?
Have I what?
You mean any other appraisers?
No, any other homeowners?
There's 3 homeowners, and we've had no,
Any of them, or one of them, or two of them?
not, we have 2 of we have 2 signed easements, but there's 3 that we need, and those 3 people are not talking to us.
Okay.
The same 3 that have been issued all along. We have one from the municipal authority and one from another homeowner who immediately were helpful and signed them.
Firehouse renovations, we're still working on that, nothing new to report on that. Parking ticket increase, what you got, Mayor?
Chief's still working on that, trying to figure out exactly what he would like to see, and then pass that on to council.
And he's updating the ticket
Yes,
form
we'll update the tickets.
also, yeah.
Also, the e-ticket, which we turned right out of the vehicle, we can change that.
Okay.
Just be approved from council.
So that's a work in progress. Thank you so much. All right, we're on to committee reports. Water, do you have anything to report
No.
right now? Budget and finance, we're having a meeting on, what's the date, Allison?
July 9th at 2 p.m. Let me just double check that. Second Tuesday at 2 p.m., July 9th at 2 p.m.
We will have a budget meeting July 9th at 2 p.m. Personnel, anything to report? Nothing to report. Sanitation. Allison actually had to call the waste management because something hinky happened last week and somebody called in sick. She ran after the truck.
I'm like, hey!
So an applause for Allison for running after the garbage truck, for God's sakes. Other duties assigned.
Pick up here.
The garbage man called in sick, so he wasn't picking up the garbage. And Allison ran after the truck to figure out, hey, come back here. Yes.
They were intimidated.
Roads and building, do you have additional
I
report?
have only one request from council, the F-550. Alan was going to take it to Koch to get it evaluated and actually get a write-up of why it will pass inspection. The council's go ahead, I'd like Harry to have done.
Harry can do that.
I got nothing else to
Yeah, you got no life, right? All right. Another thing with roads is that we received a letter from Mike Delato, inquiring about the speed bumps, and I know that you had done some research on that
Yeah.
for a while about movable ones versus
Council
permanent
would
ones.
like, we can talk about it with next week's committee meeting and then.
Bring us back what the options are on that.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Parks and Rec, pardon?
Okay.
Parks and Rec, nothing to report right now. Thank you, Mr. Snow for cutting the park. Tim, thank you. Special projects, I have nothing to report right now. Economic development, is there anything new to report now?
Nothing new.
Nothing new, okay. Friends of Delaware Water Gap, yay!
Thank you for those who did come, it was nice to see you guys out there. We had, a total of 21 vendors. 4 of them were, I didn't charge because they were nonprofit. So we had 18 that paid, so we made like 400 and some odd dollars, I guess that is, at $25 a piece. 3 were no show, but we had a nice steady flow at some points. It's unfortunate we didn't have the train this year to have that, crowd come in and everything. I am, however, working on a fall festival. I'm gonna start working with Kai. We're gonna try to do the Scarecrow, a fall festival thing, possibly like a full weekend type of thing. I've been in contact with Frank to do the tree lighting as well again, and then maybe put the lights up on the poles and
And take them down when it's
couple
over.
other things that I'm in the works with,
Okay. Again,
It's a
thank you
little
so
busy
much for
day.
keeping it going.
You're
Thank you
welcome,
for keeping
you're
it
welcome,
going.
no problem.
Mayor, can I ask you about that letter from the church on the letterhead? We need a note, hold us harmless for the porta potties.
Yes, I'm still working on that.
Okay.
Trying to get with Jim Blair.
Okay, they put a porta potty here for the concerts that go on at the gazebo at the church, but we need a letter on their letterhead to hold us harmless in case one of y'all decide to tip them over. I won't call any names or look at anyone. Open space and trails, is there any reporting from that?
Nothing new to report.
Okay, let's see. Planning commission, nothing. Zoning,
I didn't put shade tree on there, I'm sorry.
that's right, we
I
got,
didn't add shade tree, so.
okay, shade tree, anything other than your grant that you're applying for?
So what's going on is we're gonna have our first official meeting, tomorrow night, and we're gonna discuss getting together with Vinnie Cottrell, who's the forester for Penn State Extension, who's coming down to help us, complete this grant. And look for tree planting sites, and then pick appropriate trees for the right sites.
Thank you so much for all that, for coordinating all that. Zoning hearing, we have none. Todd, was there anything, Todd?
The only thing that was a concern meeting is, I don't know the laws of no water campaign, but there's been a lot of advertisements for free clean pool going around town. And what is happening is, somebody says, oh yeah, I'll take a truck with you. And then a week later, 5 of them show up at home and it's not clean fill.
Oh my God.
So if anyone sees an advertisement, we might even want to put it in our next issue of,
The newsletter.
the newsletter, yeah.
I'll make a note.
So they literally end up with a yard full of,
Hazardous waste.
oh my gosh. Okay, that's not good, so we'll try to get that newsletter. Okay, so we're through all the committees, did I miss any committees? No?
There was an application made to the zoning hearing board, so the zoning hearing board is going to.
Oh, wait, the police.
Okay,
oversight
yes, there
committee?
was an application made to the zoning hearing board. So, we'll work through that.
Did you miss the police oversight committee?
Okay, now I'm gonna open up the comments for non-agenda items. Are there anyone in the public has comments on items that are not on the agenda? Yes, ma'am.
Ada Mosier. I would just like to say, I asked my sister and my niece to come to the pancake breakfast. I was embarrassed. That pancake breakfast was a flop. I mean, they had plastic bottles that you would put vinegar in. They had served in the bottles with these little tiny holes that you had to squeeze the bottle. And the hot cakes were cold. The sausage and bacon was cold. One of the firemen came over and said to my niece, "Oh, would you like more hot cakes?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, could we have some, hotter ones?" He said, "Well, I'll see if what I can do." He brought over 3 cold hot cakes.
Sorry. to
I
hear
said,
that.
"Well, my husband was a fireman for probably 50 years. He was never the chief, but he held a lot of positions and was the president for a couple of times. About now, he's rolling over in his grave." I mean, I was embarrassed.
Alright.
So I think from now on, I'll just support the Blue Ridge Fire Company. and not Delaware Water Gap Farm Company.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but we had a wonderful Founder's Day, and I tell you, if you come down here to the church, they had a great array of baked goods that were going on there. So we do what we can, volunteer, we're not always happy, but we do what we can. Any other public comments regarding items not agenda related? Okay, well that, you're making it easy on me. If that, with that said,
Don't get used to it, just saying,
Don't-
just saying.
don't make me pull out.
Let's reserve the executive session. Were you voting on anything?
No, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's to talk about litigation and personnel. To ratify something. Yes, to ratify, no vote.
Yay.
So, do I have a motion to adjourn and go into executive session?
Here, Bill makes a motion.
All right. Second it? Okay, we are now adjourning into,
Derek, did you see him?
no objection.